so much harder to sponsor men than women?
Thank you.
You asked a tough question there. Well, you know, men are like cats and women are like dogs. Yeah, you know what I mean? How many of you have ever owned cats or dogs? Anybody? I have. I've owned both. Dogs are real social. Man, they can't wait to meet other dogs, right? You take them out, they're sniffing each other, they're pulling the leash, they want to meet other dogs. Cats, oh, they hiss, you know, when they see another cat come. The cat gets up, tail gets up. Cats are solitary. That's how men are. Men are basically solitary creatures, you know? And so it's hard, you know, to kind of get men to want to get together with other men that they don't already know. They have to have something, usually an activity. You know, they're not the kind you just want to talk heart to heart, be intimate right off the get. No, men do not do that. You know, but ladies can do that. With men, it's got to be like some sport we do together. We go fishing, we watch baseball. You know, we look at something that's on the side, and maybe we'll say things about our personal lives, parenthetically. That's how men are. You know, they're much more private. And so for a woman to invite a man, for that to be successful, it's probably got to be your husband. It's got to be your son. It's got to be your dad. It's got to be somebody who already knows you. But then if guys have, you know, good friends, like I've got bicycling buddies, you know, I go bicycling all the time, and I've got a whole bunch of guys that go bicycling with me, and also women. It's easy for me to talk to them because we have a common activity. We spend a lot of time together. So that's how you get men. You find in your men's groups, do they have other social groups besides the Cursillo? Do they play cards? Do they go fishing? Do they watch football? Or do they do sports? Do they do something other than Cursillo? So that's where you can go fishing. That's where you can probably find success inviting some other men to come on a Cursillo weekend. But if you're limited to just like church stuff, well, you know, maybe you've kind of limited your pool right there. You may not have a whole lot of other people you can really invite. So what do men have to do, and women too? You need to make the, how did, what's his name, Captain Kirk say it? Go boldly where no man has gone before. You need to extend your invitation to talk to other men. In your workplace, you need to go talk to other men that you normally don't talk to, get to know them, women and men, right? And find out, you know, that way. Can you develop a relationship, a friendship with them? It takes time. With men, friendships take a long time. Women can talk like that. Oh my God, men take a long time to form deep friendships, right? Except in the Cursillo weekend. That's why men who go on the Cursillo weekend are so overjoyed. It's like, oh my God, I can make friends fast. You know, I have a whole bunch of friends now that I never had before. It would have taken me decades to make that many friends as I made on that Cursillo weekend. And men get turned on by that. It's like, wow, I believe now. Now this is great. What Eduardo Benitez said about friendship is so true. Okay? Okay. I think that's why. Yes.
I'm your brother Vic Ramos. I took my Cursillo 40 years ago in Manila, the Diocese of St. Ignatius, the Quezon City. Cursillo number 57, and the Korea of St. James. Well, aside from getting candidates, we have the same problem as keeping Cursillistas within the movement. It's so fast to lose, even graduating 12. And in the second Cursillo, not a single, even the son of the rector, stayed. No. It is very common. When I was rector, I got 15 candidates. And 8 graduated, 8? No, they took their 4th day. And not very long, the next Cursillo class guys. There were less than 10, maybe 8 or 7. And only 5 joined the next concilio. Now I wonder, some are successful and some are not. But I think there is a common cause of this, and it borders on weak leadership. Weak leadership. I think concilio leadership is not strong enough to keep the candidates or those who have passed their 4th day stay within the movement. Because I am sure if they like the movement, they see enough good things happening in the movement, they will stay. They will stay. And no doubt, they will keep on helping the movement grow. And that is inevitable because that is Christian leadership.
Okay. It was interesting you talked about leadership. I was a U.S. Army infantry officer, and one of the things that I learned very quickly is that you can get a soldier to be really brave and to go out there and risk his life. And what it takes is his desire to take care of his buddy. You know, soldiers will die not for a patriotic reason, not even for a general who says we need to take that hill. They're going to die to protect their buddy who's with them. And so the sponsor has got to have that kind of relationship with his candidate, that his candidate is going to follow him to the ends of the earth. So if the sponsor is going to a group reunion and he's telling the candidate, hey, you're going to come with me now, okay? And he experiences how good it is. Wherever that sponsor goes, it's almost like little sheep following the shepherd. If the sponsor says, oh, we're going to go to Noltrea, the candidate says, yes, sir, I'm going to follow you. So that's the kind of leadership that you need. It's not really all about somehow the Oakland Cursillo Filipino movement has got to be so wonderful and great that everyone just naturally flocks to it like a moth to the flies. It's really about personal leadership with each sponsor developing such a relationship of trust and mentorship, spiritual mentorship with the candidate, that the candidate says, you know, I have so much to learn. I need to go where you go. I want to be like you, because you look like Jesus. And then eventually that person's going to grow up and become his own, disciple of Christ. But initially, our newbies are like newborn, right? They don't really know what it is to walk in the way of the Lord. They're going to be looking at the sponsor, show me, teach me. So the sponsor has got to have that kind of mentor mentality, that I am going to pick somebody who I know is going to be totally trusting in my ability to lead them to greener pastures in the Lord. And eventually they're going to fly off on their own. They're going to mature in the faith. So if you have that kind of deep relationship with your candidate, you don't have any problem with perseverance. They'll follow you to the ends of the earth.
So I think, I'm your sister Kath, by the way. I honestly believe when we sponsor someone, we bring somebody to Christ, sometimes Cursillo is just a stepping stone. Sometimes it enhances their ministry doing something else where their true gift is where it is. I mean, I lived by Cursillo in 2000. I really was not physically active at Cursillo until 2009. But right after I joined the Cursillo, I found my ministry as a catechist. And it did not end there. Now I am an RCIA team leader, or team member, sorry. So it just grew there. You will find, and the fact that somebody called me to join Cursillo and lived it, and those things. And when you bring somebody to Cursillo, you really have to know that person. You don't just bring them like for numbers, like what you said, because it's going to be just by numbers. When the ones that I sponsor, they leave the Cursillo, probably not visible in this room, but they are very active in their ministry at the church or other ministry. And I honestly think that then that's when we know that it works. That's when we know it works. As long as they remain with Christ, doing His work and service.
Hey, thank you, Sister Kathy. You know, the ideal is always what I've been talking about. The reality is what Sister Kathy mentioned. You know, for many of them, the Cursillo weekend is just a spark that allows them to open their eyes to the potential of serving God in other ways. You know, for them, maybe the Cursillo movement isn't really what is needed. But you want, as a responsible sponsor, to paint the picture for them so that they understand the ideal of the movement. If they choose not to follow that ideal, that's okay. Nothing lost. You know, God is in charge always of how the Holy Spirit's going to move in each person's life. But, you know, we want to talk about the ideal and set that as a goal, because if you don't set a high goal, you won't even reach the objective, right? So this is kind of like the ideal goal. What a
Deacon, there is one thing that really boggles my mind in the Cursillo movement. The question of the logic behind the founder, Eduardo Bonin, that we don't have to advertise in order to influence candidates. I cannot get it.
Yeah, the path of least resistance, you know, if you just are interested in numbers, is just to put out, you know, lots of announcements in the church bulletin about, oh, there's a Cursillo weekend coming, please call so-and-so at this phone number. And sure, you might get some people, you know, who are interested, but then, you know, you go through that whole screening process to determine, you know, is that person really, you know, the kind of candidate you want? And then you have to still build up that relationship of trust and friendship with them. So although it might be expedient, nothing really works best as that one-on-one contact where you as the evangelist are taking the time to get to know new people. You see, the path of least resistance is for you to never really stretch your comfort envelope to go out and meet new people. You wait for them to come to you, right? And then you get to know them. What Jesus would want us to do is just like His apostles. You go out there and you go find them. You introduce them. You won't catch everybody, but some of the people that you'll meet for the first time and you get to befriend might actually be the ones that you find out will make wonderful candidates for the Cursillo movement.
Yes, question, please. I always do Manjanita to the English Cursillo, even though I don't sing that much, okay? But I asked them, how can you have so many candidates for the men and women? They accept non-Catholics. And the Filipino Cursillo accept non-Catholics.
Only if you don't want to be affiliated with the national Cursillo movement. Yeah, no, there are a number of Cursillo movements that have chosen not to do that. I mean, to actually open the doors to anybody and everybody. And the Cursillo, the Catholic Cursillo, is only for Catholics, and that's how the national movement works. So the ones that you see listed, you know, on their website, if you check them out, those are the ones that are doing it according to the rules and regulations of the national Cursillo. And it makes sense, you know, it actually makes sense because there's so many things that we do on a weekend that are Catholic specific. A non-Catholic simply would not really feel involved or appreciate what we're doing. Yeah.
An observance or a challenge where I'm seeing all my family, or most of them are we've been sponsored to Cursillo. But I'm having a hard time putting them in my team, in our team, because family don't normally share stuff. So, I mean, they're good leaders, and that's why I've gotten in. I mean, I really wish that they're part of a team, because I've been in Cruzeiro for 20 years, and the only reason I'm still here is because of my teams. We've been together since 1994, and we've grown from 12 to like, with family and everything. People had kids and got married. So this is something I want from my sisters, because it helped me a lot, and I know they could really benefit, but I'm having a hard time. I always invite them to our team, and they're basically part of my team, but I know that they don't really go because it's hard for them to share with family, because a lot of stuff comes out. I'm burdening these things. So I don't know what I'm going to do, or how the Cruzeiro as a whole can help. And also, they're a little bit younger, so they kind of feel sort of out of place a little bit. So that's my sort of challenge.
Yeah, it's so very true that family dynamics and history are such that it's really hard sometimes for family members to be in the same group, because there are unresolved issues, power issues, relationship issues that have never been addressed in the family. And so they don't want to really bring that out among strangers. So the best thing for them is to invite them to attend other groups where none of the other family members are present. So you have 21 groups. And so, if maybe the leaders of some of these other groups could be apprised of the names and the locations and phone numbers of your family members, and reach out to them and invite them if they're interested to join them, just to check it out, that might be an avenue for them to experience the group reunion after their Cruzeiro. Okay.